Hello, my name is Lori. Today I'm going to be talking about my February 2025 end of month budget recap. See how I did for the month of February. Thank you all for joining me today. I hope that this information is interesting, if not entertaining to you. I appreciate your support and watching and hanging out with me while I try to hold myself accountable for my budget. So my total budget for February was $7,945.98. So, but because I got my income tax refund in February, I spent quite a bit more than that. But it's all good because it's bills I would have had to have paid either in March, April, or May anyway. So for planned expenses, I have, sorry about all this. I hope you can see that all right. I tried to make the print big, but it doesn't all fit in the screen. So for TV and internet, my bill went up a little bit. It was $143.03, and in February it was $148.44. I talked to the company that provides my service, and they told me it's actually going to be going up to about $173 in, I think they said May, maybe April. And so I've actually changed it now. I'm going to be getting the Google Fi, which I don't know if it'll be any better, but hopefully it won't be. It'll be the same price, or maybe even a little bit less than what I'm currently paying. So it definitely won't be $174. So for my water bill, I budgeted 176. Listen to me. 76, and it ended up being 60. For my electric bill, I budgeted 122, and it was 125. My natural gas bill, I budgeted 198.52, and it was 271.12. For my cell phone, I budgeted 3102, and it was 3126. My landscaping company, I budgeted 145, and it ended up being about 75. My HVAC was 2144, and it was still 2144. So my total plan was $737, and my actual was $732. So I think that's pretty good. So for savings, I planned 198 and I saved 271.30. My secondary savings, I planned 25 and spent 25 and saved 25. My SoFi savings, I planned 50 and I saved 50. For my emergency fund, I wasn't planning on putting anything extra in there, but I put 293. For food and groceries, I budgeted $387. I spent $410.67, and that's once again because I got my refund, so I was able to go shopping one last time. For eating out and snacks, I budgeted $50 and I spent $52. For coffee, I budgeted $42 and I spent $59. Once again, because I keep saying this, but basically it's because I got that refund check. So for household supplies, I budgeted $50 and I spent $58. For personal spending, I budgeted $25 and spent $23. For gas, I budgeted $135 and I spent $79 or close to it. For my car service, I budgeted $110, I spent $523.62. For my car wash, I budgeted $25 and I spent $25. And also, when I got that car wash, they told me I got two for $25, so that's cool. And for lawn care supplies, I didn't spend anything. So my total planned variable expenses was $1,097. My actual was $1,870. Okay, for my debt payments, I budgeted for my mortgage $2,174.10, and that's what it was. My 401k loan comes out of my paycheck. My car payment, there was no change, $534.86. For my first home improvement loan, I was having the payment come out on the 1st, and it was $294.58, but then I changed it to the 28th. That way the money comes out on a different paycheck. And so in February, it looks like I made two payments, because I did. But the one on the last day of the month, the 28th, was actually for March. So anyway, I spent $612.50. And for my second home improvement loan, the budget was $272.81. I sent $343.52. For my Lowe's card, I budgeted $637.46, and I sent $958.86. For my Fidelity credit card, budgeted $237. I sent $403, which is the fee. Basically, they charged me a fee, obviously, to move my debts to the new credit card, and so basically I just paid the fee. So for my personal credit card, which was one of the cards that moved over to the Fidelity card, I still had to make one last payment on it. The payment, I budgeted $147.31, but it ended up being $148.72. My Chase credit card, I budgeted $100, but I sent $400. And the reason I was able to do that was because of refinancing the Fidelity card. I went from making my minimum payments on the 3 debts that I have was about $800 a month, and by the new minimum payment on the Fidelity card was $139. So I was able to send extra money to my Chase card, which I really need to get paid off before September in order to avoid the interest. So we'll see what happens there. And my hot water heater was $124.93, and that's how much I spent. Okay, so for basically my annual expenses, planned infrequent expenses, my escrow, I was planning on saving $215. I ended up just paying the escrow shortage, which was $613.67. My tax prep, I planned $100, but it ended up being $25. My HOA dues, I was planning on $384 to save to pay in March, but I was able to just go ahead and pay the bill, and it was $601.68. Then the rest, I was planning on sinking this money to save for future, for the next time it comes around, but I didn't put anything towards any of them. So my total plan was $797.18, and I actually spent $1,240.35. So I didn't have any emergencies this month, thank God. It's like the 3rd month in a row. It's crazy. So I gave myself an allowance of $200. I ended up spending $99, and that was for hold on. I spent $99, and that was for new home phones, house phones, because with the new Google Fi, I get a landline with it. And the reason why I went ahead and got the landline was because my cell phone service is not perfect. And I'm a part of the emergency response organization with the company I work for. And every time my phone service stopped working, I would have a mild panic attack, because I have to be available 24 hours a day to respond to an emergency. And so I felt like it would be a good idea to go ahead and get the landline, and should my phone ever stop working, they can reach me on my landline. So I bought a couple of books for $38.60. I budgeted $30. I gave some money to my son, $15. For sales tax, miscellaneous sales tax, I have that item on here for, like, if I go to Walmart and I buy stuff for personal and stuff for food and stuff for the house, and things like that. And I don't, and because they charge different taxes for different things, I just made one category for sales tax. So $16. I had a prescription refilled. I budgeted $160 and it was $156.66. And actually, I got that refilled, and then about a week later, I decided I don't want to take it anymore. It's a hormone replacement therapy. And I was going to, I paused taking it because I was getting some heart palpitations, and they were kind of all the time. And so I just wanted a break from it, and to see if I stopped taking it, to see if maybe the heart palpitations would stop. And I think it's a little bit better than what it was. So I want to give it some more time. So for parking and tolls, I budgeted $20, ended up being $27.60. For donations, I budgeted $200, but I only donated $21. For office supplies, I budgeted $65, but I did not spend any money for office supplies. For shipping, I actually had listed something on Poshmark back in November, and it finally sold, and I had to buy a box to put the dress in. So that was $5. I didn't budget anything for a buffer apparently, and I did not spend anything on buffer. I didn't need to since I got the tax refund. So for total extra things, it was $791.78, and I spent $378.86. So for the month, my total expenses was budgeted was $7,945.98, and I spent $9,923, or $22 rather, an overage of $1,976. So, but it's fine because I got my refund, so it's all fine. Alright, so here's my pie chart. Hold it. Here. So for my planned regular expenses, I budgeted 9%. For planned variable expenses, I budgeted 14%. For debt payments, 57%. For infrequent expenses, 10%, unplanned expenses, 0%, and extra things, 10%. So in reality, what we ended up having was planned regular was 8%, variable was 19%, debt payments was 57%, infrequent expenses 13%, and unplanned was 0%, and extra things was 4%. So if you look at them together, it wasn't terrible. I mean, the numbers, of course, would have been different if I had not gotten my tax refund. But I find this very interesting. So my regular expenses was 1% different. My variable expenses 5%. My debt payments, this is crazy, 57%. I promise I wasn't trying to do that on purpose. It's just how it worked. Only 3% difference on the planned infrequent expenses and 6% on the extra things. So I thought that was interesting. Alright, so that's everything for my February end of month recap. I appreciate everybody hanging out with me, and actually I got a message this morning from a subscriber asking me how I was doing, because it's been a few weeks since I posted anything, and that was really nice. I felt like that was very sweet. And I was happy to report that I was doing recording today, and I would be uploading at least one video today. So thank you very much. I hope everybody has a wonderful day. Thank you for watching, and I hope you got something out of this, even if it was just entertainment. Alright, thank you very much. Bye-bye.